Hello and welcome to the channel. Now, the first thing you might be thinking actually is, this looks like a pretty new setup, you know? Is this a new room? And you would be correct, dear viewer. I moved. So this is my new room, with my new television. Now, I want you to pay extra close attention to this TV. It's marvelous, right? It's super cool. This TV put me in the most hilarious situation that I could have ever predicted. It is just so funny. And today, I want to do something a little bit new. You see, I was actually working on Skypea is Hilarious when, unfortunately, a death in the family happened. I did a community post. Unfortunately, my father passed away recently. So as you can imagine, that definitely held up a lot of work on my end for this channel, obviously. Now, you guys probably know me pretty well by now. The quality of these videos means a lot to me, so I'm going to make sure that I take the time to make sure that they are all as close to perfect as they can be. So obviously, when this happened, it created just like a lot of things, and it made making Skypea is Hilarious it was just more difficult. But I will absolutely give more updates on Skypea is Hilarious along with the next couple hilarious videos for the channel, so you guys can have something to look forward to. But for now, I want to kind of start a new series on the channel, okay? You see, we here on the channel, we like to focus on the comedy of every series that we look at. And as I was thinking about it the other day, my life is kind of just hilarious. I mean, there's a lot of stories that I would just love to go over with you guys so I can explain why it's hilarious and why the situations that I find myself in, you know what, let's just get it started. And I hope you like this series because, like I said, I've got a lot of stories I'd love to talk to you guys about. But before we get into all that hilarity, a quick word from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. are Japanese snack subscription boxes. Tokyo Treat, you can look forward to the latest, exclusive, and limited edition seasonal flavored Japanese snacks. Sakura Co, meanwhile, puts the emphasis on supporting local Japanese snack makers, which means each box will come with 20 traditional, authentic, and artisan Japanese snacks. But returning viewers to the channel will know that the best part about these boxes are going to be the monthly themes, and this month's theme for Tokyo Treat is going to be the Mount Fuji Snack Venture, which means it's going to be full of snacks that'll make you feel like you're in an Airbnb on Mount Fuji, like the Mount Fuji green tea cake, the Mount Fuji sandwich cookie, the sweet potato sable cookie, and my personal favorite was the wasabi potato chips. I ate all of those in like one sitting. And for Sakura Co, the theme is going to be Wonders of Saitama, which means this box will contain snacks inspired by Saitama City, like the milk castella cakes, curry senbei, and daifuku. And this all pairs excellently well with the Chappan Sayama tea. And this month's tableware item is the Wasaka Crane Chopsticks, a beautifully crafted pair of chopsticks with a crane design symboling longevity and good fortune. And as always, you can learn more about that in the booklets that they send you with the boxes as well, which will be filled with even more information about all the snacks that you'll be receiving, as well as allergen information as well. So if you're like me and you'd like to try some of these amazing snacks, please check out the link in my description and use code MUGIWARA to receive $5 off your first Sakura Co or Tokyo Treat box. A special thank you to Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co for sponsoring this video, and an extra special thank you to you for watching this video. And with that, we are back to the show. So like I said, I just moved, so this TV is very, very, very new. This happened over the weekend. So I'm trying to, you know, get my head in order, you know, after all that stuff happened with my dad. I'm trying to process it the best way that I can, and I decide it's time to start my spend money until I feel better tour. So I start looking for just new stuff to buy, new furniture, new groceries, just everything, anything that I can. And I decide, you know what, I need a new TV. So you know what I do? I get up, I get dressed, I go to Target, and I start shopping for televisions. Now, Target was my first stop, but it wouldn't actually be where all of the funny stuff happens. It's not like Target doesn't have good TVs. No, it's just that when I got there, I got into an argument with the AT&T representative outside the electronics department of Target about which singer we'd be if each of us were in Destiny's Child. And I mean, that got really heated. I just don't understand why he couldn't intuitively understand that I would be Beyonce, but you know what? I'm trying to put it behind me, okay? Because if I think about it some more, I'm just gonna get mad all over again. So I walk out of Target immediately. I'm angry. I don't understand what that guy was talking about, and so I drive to Best Buy. But on the way to Best Buy, I come across a smoke shop, and I go, you know, I could use a new vape, okay? I could use a new vape. Those are pretty cool. I get a vape before I go to Best Buy. Now, that part is important because when I get into Best Buy, I leave with a new PC. Not a TV, okay? I walked into Best Buy, I bought a new headset, I bought a new PlayStation 5 controller, and just a brand new PC. I didn't realize until I was already driving away from Best Buy that is not why I went to Best Buy. So it's already, all the stuff is already in my car. I could either turn around and go back to Best Buy to buy a television, or I could pull into the Walmart parking lot because I was just passing a Walmart, and I could pick up a really nice TV there. So this is where all the funny stuff happens. So I pull into the Walmart parking lot, and you guys know Walmart, right? Okay, so it's just a place where the most disreputable people just meet. Okay, there's a lot of normal people, but more than a few weirdos at Walmart. Don't think I needed to explain that, but I'm just painting the picture for you. So I get out of there, still hitting the vape, and I walk into Walmart. I'm looking at all the TVs, and I see this magnificent specimen, and I'm like, you know what? I want it. I gots to have it. And I bought it, and I wheel it out to my car, and guys, nowhere in my mind, okay, did I even think about what if this television cannot fit into my car? My regular ass Toyota Corolla. Nowhere in my mind did I ever hold space for the idea that perhaps I should have had a backup plan or just a better first plan about how I was going to get this giant TV out of Walmart. But no, I didn't think about any of that. So I wheel this big ass TV all the way out to my car and try to get it in for an embarrassing 15 minutes. I'm just struggling to fit it in whichever way I can. It's obviously not working. It was never going to work. Really put yourself in my shoes. I am in the Walmart parking lot with a 65-inch television that is just magnificent. And the crackheads that are in the Walmart parking lot are slowly circling around me. It has become impossible to ignore what type of situation I have found myself in. So I want you guys to really picture me out there. The television is right here, and I'm just like, nobody get any ideas. Every normal person that's walking by is just shaking their head like, no, what did you expect? I'm just looking at them like, you know what? So I'm just sitting there with this big television, just looking around for options. I'm struggling for the longest time to get it into my car. And so while I'm struggling to get this TV into my car, someone pulls into the space that's next to me. And so he pulls in, he's in this big Escalade. He pulls in, he gets out of his car, and he looks at me and he's like, hey, you need a hand? And so I start thinking about the different ways that I could get it out of here. Like maybe I could tie the television to the top of the car, like maybe he could help me with that. And so I start talking to him about that, and he goes, oh yeah, do you have anything to tie it down? And I was like, no, actually, I don't know that I do. I could probably look, but I don't think that I have anything to tie this television to my car with. And so he goes, oh, that's cool, I got some rope. And this motherfucker, he pulls out just a bushel of rope, just like a roll of rope. He just pulls it out and he shows it to me. He's like, that's cool, you don't have anything tied, I got some rope. And so like any normal person, my brain didn't go, oh great, he has rope, the day is saved. My brain went, why do you have that? I couldn't get that out of my head, especially when he showed me the rope. I was like, why do you have that, man? Come on. He didn't look like he was working on a farm at all. He was just a regular dude with a bunch of rope and an Escalade. I was like, there's a story here, and you know what? I don't think I want to know. So I was like, you know what, dude, it's all right. I'm sure I'll figure it out. And he was like, suit yourself. And he gets back in his car and he drives off. And this scared me extra bad because, guys, he just pulled into the space. I assumed he was pulling in so that he could shop, and then he just offered to help before he went into shop. No, so it looks like he pulled into the spot, asked me if I needed some help, showed me some rope, and then from his perspective, just saw me genuinely get scared about the rope and then just drove off. Like, what was he doing? Like, are you just driving around this parking lot looking for people that need rope? What is going on? That guy should be on a list. I don't know. I have no idea what that was, but I needed to get out of Walmart. So I post about the situation. I send messages to my friends. I think, I've got a whole pirate crew. Someone surely can help. And this is the thing that you guys are going to understand about the Mugi Goof pirates when you learn more about them. Besides a few of them, they're all useless, okay? I've basically got Law's crew. It's just a crew full of Usops. They don't do anything but cap and defer responsibility. Every time anything happens, everyone's just looking at everybody else like, so what are you gonna do about it? Like, man, help me. So I call all of them, and like I said, they're all useless, so no one's coming. So it is just me and this giant TV in the Walmart parking lot. So I do the only thing I knew how to do, which is the karate that all 90s kids think they learned the first time they saw Power Rangers and Mortal Kombat. I start beating up all the crackheads. And luckily, a little bit into the ass whooping I'm giving all of these crackheads, I get a phone call, and it is my aunt. She calls me and she's like, hey, I got off the phone with Granddaddy. Are you okay? He said you might need the pickup truck. And I go, oh my God, thank you. Yes, please. Thing is, though, she was getting her nails done, so I still gotta fight all of these crackheads with imaginary karate for like 40 more minutes. So luckily, my aunt managed to save the day with the pickup truck. The thing is, I needed to drive the pickup truck to my house, which means I then had to drive back to my grandfather's house to make sure that I dropped off the pickup truck. Now, you would think that this isn't that important and the story's pretty much over, but you would be wrong, because throughout this entire time, you need to keep in mind, I just want to play Spider-Man. The whole reason I was getting a television was so that I could play Spider-Man on a bigger TV, and that's what I've been trying to get back to. This has been like 6 hours of me getting distracted and fighting crackheads with imaginary karate. I'm tired, and I don't have the patience for any of this anymore. But I think whatever, it should be fine. Let's just drop off this television and then go to my grandparents' house. It should be fine. The thing is, though, when I get there, like I said, we went through the tragedy of losing my father, so everybody is still just going through it. You know, everybody's talking with everybody. There's a bunch of people all over the house. So just dropping off a pickup truck turns into this thing that requires incredible finesse. Like, I need to delicately maneuver this situation. But I think, you know, whatever, it should be fine. You know, let's just get in, we'll drop off the car, we'll get back, and then we'll be playing Spider-Man before we know it. So I get there and I'm almost home free, but before I leave, my uncle shows up and we start talking a little bit. And while me and my uncle are talking, I see from the corner of my eye this huge dude just towering over me, walking over to me with his chest out. So he's like this. His chest's out, and he's just walking over to me. And this big dude just standing over me like this, doesn't change his posture at all, just squares up to me like this, and he's just like, hey, yo, little cuz, you probably don't remember me, do you? And I was like, no, mugshot from Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, I don't believe we've ever met. And he's just like, you know, I used to run with your dad's crew back in the day. We was real tight. We was thick as thieves. Until I got caught up in all the drugs and all the women. Like, I swear to God, I just met this person and he starts going in just like that. So I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what's going on. This guy, he's leaning on me. He's literally crying on my shoulder going over all this. I'm confused. I'm looking around. I see my uncle and he's tiptoeing away from the situation. So I don't even think that my uncle knows who this guy is. I think he was in conversation with him and lured me into conversation and then tiptoed away from it. Like, I'm sorry, dude, it's your problem now. So as I'm talking with this person that I've never met about his long list of regrets as he cries into my shoulder, I'm just trying to comfort him with platitudes. Like, you know, it's always darkest before the dong. It's always better to, you know, turn the tables or else an eye for an eye. I don't know, man. I gotta play Spider-Man. I'm sorry. So I don't know how I get out of that situation, but eventually I managed to make it back to my house, and that's when I can finally look into actually setting up the television. So I get back to the house and I start setting up the television, only to discover that the place where this TV was gonna go, it does not fit there, okay? And this is when I had an epiphany. This is when I realized I truly just did not think any part of this through. I mean, I left my house with barely a plan, and what little plan I had, I still managed to mess that up. And it's just hilarious because this could have all been avoided had I just remembered why I was in Best Buy in the first place. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. All's well that ends well. You know, I love my TV. It's just a very funny story. But as promised, I do want to give you guys an update on the content of this channel. So like I said, Skypea is Hilarious will be the next video that drops, and after that, we're going to go in order from there. So after Skypea, we didn't do G8 or G5, or what is the arc called? It's the filler arc that everybody likes. Whatever it's called, we're doing that one after Skypea. And then after that, we're going to go into Long Ring Long Land, Water 7, Innie's Lobby. We're going to go in order, okay? You can expect some surprises here and there after that. Maybe some surprises from some other anime. You know, who knows? But for sure, for the hilarious saga in One Piece, Skypea is Hilarious will be next. But yeah, that's what you can expect going forward. But let me know if you like this too. I really hope that I can keep being this personal with you guys and go over some of the more funny stories that have happened in my life. I would really like to go over those with you guys as well. But that about does it. But before we wrap up, I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to everyone who commented on the community post that I made about my father. It's still a lot to process, but your words really help. Like, so many people said so many nice things, and I couldn't reply to everybody or even as many as I wanted to, just because, you know, it's still just overwhelming on my end, honestly. But you know, you guys have helped a lot. Like, I can never put it into words what it meant to me getting to read all of the things that you guys said. So if you left a comment and, you know, I didn't reply, I read it. Trust me. I tried to read them all, and your comment might have been what literally put me in a much better place that day, you know? Like, so I just want to say thank you. I hope you guys never change. I hope one day we can all just sit around a big table and I can look each of you in the eye and explain why you guys are the stars in my story. I don't want to turn into Mugiwara, no sappy. I'm just saying, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, that about does it this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being interested, and I cannot wait to see you in Skypea is Hilarious.